know what I mean? Do I reclaim host on this? Yeah. Okay, so then I can make people attendees and stuff. Got it. Or participants or what have you. All right. And then allow to talk. Let me promote to panelists. And all right, Donna and Janice. Yanis, we are promoting you to panelists, so that way, if you did want to speak during this, you would be able to. All right. Well, we don't have quorum so far because it's only the two of us. Right. And I don't think that we are review of application. All right, sweet. Naomi, do you have the application by any chance? Yeah. Yo. And all right. So let's get cool. How you doing, fellas? I'm Nobles. I'm the chair of the Cannabis Taskforce. Okay. You want to introduce yourself?
I'm Hector. I'm not
Thank you.
vice chair, nothing. I'm just a member of the committee as well. Assisting on
Founding member, by the way, when we started this thing a couple of years ago. Very cool. You guys are? Yeah, why don't you come join us at the table? Come join us at the table.
Please feel free to sign in.
Yeah, and sign in too. Good. Beep, beep, beep. And I think we had sent on email that the lease, I think was, yeah. Did you guys submit a lease too? Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, they have a lease. You can print that out or whatever as we go. Cool. Yanis or Donna, do you want to introduce yourself? But you also don't have to either.
I guess I can. I'm a little under the weather, so I won't be coming on camera. But my name is Donna. I am the owner of the House of Collectives, formerly known as Treehouse Cafe.
Yeah, I've been there a few times.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, wonderful.
I wanted to come in and check in because some things have changed at our establishment, and I wanted to come through and formally introduce myself because I do believe that I have an establishment that can definitely benefit to the community, that could benefit to CB12 and the Cannabis Taskforce.
Okay.
So I kind of just wanted to come on here, introduce myself, and maybe we can try to tackle some of the stigma that's going on uptown.
Wonderful. Awesome. We can definitely do that in this one. And Yanis, you don't have to introduce yourself, but just want to give you a chance to say hello and say who you are if you'd like.
Hi, yes, I'm Christian's wife. I'm here with the kids.
Hey, rolling with the
camera, but I'm here also for support as well.
Okay, wonderful. Noemi, do you have the CB12 application actually for this? Yeah, because we had our own application for review. It was like Oh, this might be it. This is it. Thank you. You're the best. Awesome. So meeting's called to order. It was like 6:32 when I called it to order, so I'll throw that into here. We don't have quorum yet, but we need 3 people to have quorum. So hopefully one other person comes through, and then we can make this super official.
I can take the notes as well.
Thank you, my friend. And if you wanted to, send a screenshot to someone for them to type up the minutes if you want it.
I'll do the minutes myself.
Word?
Yeah.
My man. Thank you. Got 2.5 weeks then. Awesome. Okay, cool. So then we'll start just going down the agenda then. I think I've kind of already done the call to order. I'll just give everyone a quick run through of the welcome. So basically, we've been an established task force committee for the last 2 years on this community board. When we first started, OCM really was just in the process of figuring things out, which they still are. But we knew from a community board perspective, we need to have some kind of a mechanism for the public to be able to, review and not necessarily approve legal marijuana dispensaries in our neighborhood, because we don't have any official duty. It's not like the SLA with our liquor licensing committee, where if liquor licensing is nah, we don't want this here, then they can't get into the community. We if we say yes or no, you are still good with OCM more than likely, and you can still come into the community. It just helps a lot when the community board is also here, behind you. We can get into why that later on, but it's always good to have folks on your side. And we also created the questionnaire that you guys did that we'll go through. And in the process linked up with the Manhattan Borough President's Office of welcoming new marijuana dispensaries in the neighborhood. We also provide educational programs for community members. We've done a few of them over the last couple of years. Still a very new type of economy in our neighborhood, so we also have questions from the public when they show up as to how we do things or something like that. But honestly, like we're here as change agents in our neighborhood to make sure, the right companies come in and help bring up the cannabis conversation in our community. So I like to say, not only am I the client, I'm the president. I'm an active user of all different formats of marijuana, and I love it. And
Great.
so, like, I'm definitely an advocate, and we, as a community board task force, are here to bridge the divide between folks that might not be educated enough for it, naysayers, and full-on champions of it. So, like, that's really what we're here to do. So that's our welcome. That was B in our agenda. And so for your part, Donna, we'll get to that after we do the review of this application, and then we'll bring up your part in old business, new business. Sounds okay?
Sounds great.
Awesome. I also like to I've been on the community board now for about 8 years, and so I like to keep a very efficient meeting. Before this, I was vice chair of Parks and Cultural Affairs. I've been in meetings like Leo's, let's go to 9, 10 o'clock, even on the most mundane stuff. I keep it very efficient, effective, so hopefully get us all out of here by 7:30. I got kids, so like we just try to live here. We're all volunteers. So let's review your application. So give me your names one more time. Okay. Sweet. Y'all from the hood? You guys from Washington Heights?
Yes.
Did you get your C application card? You got your card like from living in the neighborhood. You got the card, not from like outside the neighborhood, because they're starting to get those now too.
I first got it from the Bronx, and then it changed.
Okay.
Allowed to go anywhere.
Yep. They opened that
This
up.
is like my fourth lease, actually.
Damn. So you already have a pre-established business.
No, I'm like one of the ones that been going through all the
Word.
exemptions.
Well, we'll talk about leasing because last year we took on what is the stigma with landlords in this area not being more forthcoming about allowing
'Cause they work
cannabis
for themselves.
industries. Well, there's that, and we've seen that actually start to happen, and we've been a good we've stopped it sometimes if we feel it's like not good for the community. We've seen that happen. So I'm really glad you guys want to come to the neighborhood, because another thing that we talked about is we just have a lack of competition in this neighborhood because it is so hard from the stigma of the landlords, because it is so hard from like a monetary standpoint, where a lot of folks with cards from our neighborhood go downtown to open stores and they don't do them up here. But with some of the test cases like Sparkborough and Happy Monkey, they've been doing pretty good. Vlad and Ramon come through a bunch. And so like we like to keep a ground level on the folks that come through. So we're again here as an advocate. So we'll just kind of go through this. 4925, we're just gonna go top down, and obviously this is for the recorded YouTube meeting because we record these and put them on YouTube, and also for everyone here. We're just gonna go down the application and just hit up the questions. We made this application to be part business, part community oriented, where it's like, are you hiring from the community? What are you going to be giving to the community outside of just wanting to take the business? And I know you guys got into that. We'll get to that. But we wanted to make this a more equitable type of questionnaire. So that way, once, let's say down the road, y'all open up 2 years from now, someone's like, yo, I don't know about that place Happiness, yada, yada, yada. But like, you'll come to the community board, look at how they applied, everything was on the up and up, talk to me, the chair, and if you really want to talk to the chair of the board, you can talk to her. We are all aligned in this. Because eventually, the general board will vote on your application, and then that's how you get like the full cosign from CD12, and we give you an official good neighbor kind of card you can put up so people know that you're good with us. So tell me, 4925 Broadway, what's your cross street? The location here, establishment full address.
Broadway.
Yeah, but what's your cross street, like 170?
It's 204.
Right, between 204, right, because I looked up on the map when I did this. Okay, cool, so that would be the most northern store we have.
Yes.
Then because, Happy Monkey on Dykeman.
Right, it's in
Cool.
front of Emerald Bar, right?
It's a little bit more down, it's actually across the street.
Opposite corner.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a pretty big area too. Good. Okay, cool. And the name you want it to be is Happiness? Okay, very good. Do you currently have a lease signed with this location?
Yeah, I do.
Awesome. You sent that through to the office?
I'm not sure if you guys have the last one.
Because send us, just in case, just resurface that for the office, because I remember talking with the office about your application, you hadn't had it yet, but then I think you were getting it or something. You sent through enough information for us to be like, yeah, we can review this. So send through the most up-to-date one, just to give you a heads up. Usually what we like to do when we review an application is the place has a lease signed and they've had a sign up on their empty storefront at this point. Hey, we have our community board review on this date, and we usually like to have that up for 2 weeks. Now, last year there was questions on, should we like ease that up, whatever like that. And the task force did decide to ease up that restriction, because we know how tough it can be, with landlords and things. Totally fine. I would say though, once you do send your official lease through to the office, just ask the office too, and this is important, for the sign to put up, letting folks know they're gonna be opening up a dispensary there.
I did that already.
Oh, you did it? Do you have a picture?
Yeah, we sent that. We sent the signed lease. We sent the proof of the posting, and we also sent our floor plan October 1st. We sent it to.
Okay, cool. So it was real recent because I haven't gotten an updated email from the last time in September. So great.
Yeah, this was
Ahead of
sent
the game.
to Paola, Noemi.
Yep. That's my girl right there. Well done. Awesome. Glad you guys got that. All good. You're Christian on here. Are you the card holder?
Yeah.
Yes, you said that. Thank you. You don't have any other just cannabis business, like you don't have any other businesses, already knew that. Don't have any other, do you know other businesses even outside of cannabis either in the neighborhood?
I have a trucking business.
Awesome, so you have trucking business. Well, that's good for distribution. Let me put that here because it's a no on your application, but we'll leave this one. Have only received OCM cease and desist notices, fines, violations association with this or any other? No, because it's not a marijuana business. I doubt OCM is going to be giving you any kind of citation for your trucking business. So correct, no. Oh, nice, floor plan. Thank you, Hector. Yep, you are a C applicant, yes. Representative submitting this application is not the owner, please note, but you are the owner and you're here. Thank you for showing up in person. We've had a lot of applicants that don't show up in person. That never goes well, so I appreciate you being here. So about the business, briefly describe the products, services available at the business location, retail cannabis dispensary. Usually this question we ask in terms of what type of formats you're gonna be selling cannabis in, like I'm assuming edibles and flower, probably no hash, because I'm not sure if that's legal.
Everything is legal.
Everything that's legal. I mean, I'll put that here, everything that's legal. That's a better answer than you have here, to be quite honest. So I'm just gonna put that here, everything that's legal. Because honestly, that's enough for me. Very good. How will business be a benefit to the community? This is when we start to get into our equitable questions. How will the business be of benefit to the community? Please note any relationships or partnerships that you might have in the neighborhood. So your answer was, we would like to offer jobs to those who live in the area. Great. We hope our business will create more businesses for our neighbors. Totally. Provide a safe space for those who want to educate themselves on cannabis. Love that you put that in there. And also elevate the neighboring aesthetic with chic modern signage. Great answer. What I get from this answer is, one, you're definitely focused on hiring from the community, that the place that you're going to create will be a part of the community from an aesthetic perspective, because that's very important. And then also you would open your doors to having education for the neighborhood. A lot of dispensaries that have come in front of the board, we ask, we literally ask that up the bat, would you be able to open your doors for community cannabis programs and education? Because we do ask that sometimes from Happy Monkey, from Sparkboro, or to join us in our things that we do. So it's really good that you put that up ahead. Love that. Describe your community engagement efforts and list business groups and stakeholders you've contacted. Our future goals include sponsoring a local youth sports team and cross promotion with neighboring businesses. That's great from an aspirational perspective. What I would say from a current perspective is, and one thing we like to hear usually is, you've already there's no residential above. I'm trying to think of the area. Forgive me, I don't usually go above.
It's like a little unit,
Yeah, are there residential areas on top though?
the building next to it.
But how about above it?
No.
It's a single.
Directly above it there's not. It's like a really small storefront. Next to the building next door, there's apartments up top.
Got it.
And
Okay,
the
cool,
other,
cool.
but not physically on that storefront.
Wonderful. That's great information, because we've had a couple applicants come through that have a lease in a residential building, and we were wondering if you had spoken to. Oh my God, that's perfect. Great location. And we always wonder if they have spoken to the residents of the building. You don't need to do that because you're your own signatory structure, which is freaking easy and amazing. What I would say though is, once you get that lease down, once you start in earnest, start to build on the inside at least, try to have some conversations with your neighbors to your left and your right.
I met some of them already.
Cool. I mean, even maybe if you can if there's a common space in the building, put up hey, we're opening up, a dispensary next to you. Stop by if you have any questions. Of course, you'll have our good neighbor sign. If anything gets too hot, holler at the community board. But have some more conversations in an official manner with those folks. but that's not gonna stop you from this. Like, so I'm glad that you have a lot of these things in here. I would just say, think about doing that once you start getting going. Cause we can get in front of a lot of issues with that. Definitely not in front of, in this house of worship church. No schools, and I know that that's like a hot topic right now with OCM, but I know this location, there's none in the area. And you guys are definitely far enough from Happy Monkey that being within a 1,000-foot location. Oh yeah, thank you.
So you can see it's like.
Yo, my man, perfect. Yeah, I've definitely been up here because, oh yeah.
It's next to the new hall.
Oh yeah. Oh man, this is a great location, guys. Very nice. Okay, yeah, I go up there to get my nails done. Very good. So not within 1,000 feet. So if your business is located below or congruent to a residential building, please describe your outreach efforts. We plan to meet the building's resident council or HOA, exactly, perfect, to preemptively address any operational issues. Also, we offer a discount loyalty program exclusive for building residents as a gesture of goodwill. Like, you can say neighbor residents, because I just want to be very clear with the general board that you're not in a residential building. So I'm gonna say neighboring residents. This will be the copy that goes to the general board. To get your goodwill, excellent, we just talked about that. Will there be any modifications to the exterior of the building? Yes, happiness signage, so like just the signage on the front, you're not adding another floor, you're not putting a new room on the back, none of that. Very good. The reason why we ask this question is because we can approve a place, but let's say where it's like, yo, there can't be any smoking on premises, and like, yo, no, we're only an inside space, and they build a patio on the back after they're approved. That's why we ask this question, because there have been some times when that has come up. Is the site landmark or part of a sort of district? Not up there. I know that you can go to my man Leo that you just met for land use, but I know it's not, check. So about the method of operation, please request the days or hours of operation, 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. Honestly, Monday through Sunday, so all days of the week. Sometimes the question comes up, which hasn't necessarily been key, like sometimes the question comes up of Sabbath. None of the companies that we have that are currently operating right now really like acknowledge Sabbath in that regard, which is fine because you're a business. If that question comes up to you, again, send to the community board because we can have that conversation because we've already had it before. Another thing that comes up, because I think Happy Monkey's open from 10 to 11, and we've worked with time here and there. One of the biggest things I would say as like an 11 p.m., especially with your proximity to a bar, is just be very cognizant, and when you hire security, we'll talk about security in a second, just be very aware not to become a place for hanging out. Because that's when we usually get folks from the public that come here and they're like, yo, what is going on? So just be aware of that. So your 10 to 11 is like, yo, 11 o'clock, everybody needs to be off this, this corner or this, in the storefront kind of. So just be aware of that. Because if you have people smoking out there at 12 a.m., even though you're closed, it's still not a good look for you. But nothing to be scared of. This is just typical business stuff. Yeah, you looking at something else?
Oh, that was operation.
Okay, cool. Oh, of Happy Monkey. Yeah, so they're 10 to 10. And then longer on the weekends.
It's a 12 on the weekend.
Yeah, so just 12 on the weekends. All right, so let me actually put this here. Saturday, Sunday, 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. Cool. One entrance, one exit, correct? There's nothing in the back here, I think? Nope.
No.
Good. Is your business ADA compliant? If not, yeah, because some of the pictures look like you're on the street level. There's no stairs or something, which is also something that's come up. That's great. Total number of persons allowed by maximum law in there. How many people are allowed in the structure?
I haven't got the actual number.
Yeah, we don't have the actual number, but it's a small space. It's like 400 square feet.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so I'm looking at your plan here. Okay, so there is an upstairs and downstairs to this, huh?
The
Two
cellar.
floors.
Oh, it's a cellar.
Correct.
Got you. So you're gonna have sales on both levels.
No,
Got it.
I don't think the sales on the cellar level was just a premature idea, so we can fix that.
Only the first floor.
This is the first floor. So got it. So the first floor. Okay, so this sales part here isn't gonna be on here though. Okay, so no sales. I'm just gonna put that here for the application. Okay, cool. But it's gonna be like kind of a lounge area.
That's for the staff, basically.
Ah, so it's a staff area. Okay, cool.
So like staff
The
storage.
staff lounge.
Yeah. Okay, staff lounge. Now I will say, and technically, we'll get to this question if you're gonna have smoking on premises. Please describe security measures. Be sure to include number of. Oh wait, so we haven't gone through these. Number of estimated employees. 4 employees at a time in this space. or 4 employees total?
At a time, per shift.
No, in total, cause you don't
And-
need,
It would be tight in there for
yeah,
4.
yeah.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
need more than 2 or 3.
That's fine. I mean, Sparkboro only operates with really 2 or 3, like 1 security guy, 2 people to work it. Whereas Happy Monkey has like an army. So it's like, it's fine to have just 2 people there. You're thinking like 4 in total, which is fine. Fine, and you can go up from that. There's no gotcha here in terms of like, hey, we're gonna hire 6 people. There's no, oh, but you said 4. There's none of that here. If your plan is for 4 for
No,
the
in
current
total,
moment.
we think it's 9.
Okay, in total you think it's 9? Alright, so let me put, if you mind, let me know if hey Carl, sign on in, man, we have quorum. We're going through an application right now. Carl is a committee member. So it's gonna be, let's say 2 to 4 on premises, and then we'll say 9 total employees. Does that sound okay? Okay, 9 total employees, alright. Are you planning to have a limited consumption, here we go. Are you planning to have limited consumption at the establishment? If so, provide proposed hours, please describe the layout. If rooftop or outdoor space will be utilized, please describe uses of the space. I do wanna ask this question. Even though it's an employee lounge downstairs, are you planning on having smoking downstairs? Okay, I'm glad you're truthful with that. If you keep it employees only, there's no problem with this. If you open it to the public though, there could be an issue there. Cause I think there's a different license or something for public consumption in.
There's no guidelines from OCM for public consumption, so we won't have the
I
public.
wish I had.
Not yet, so
Not
we
yet.
have to deal with it.
Got
It's
it.
not
Okay,
open.
then you can keep that with them. For our purposes, only employees smoke in the basement. Deal with that with OCM. I wish Venetia was here because she'd be able to help us, her or Vanessa. Because we usually have people that like know the marijuana business inside and out that are here. Venetia, Vanessa,
She was in the meeting.
yeah, okay, cool. 'Cause she would usually be able to do that, but it seems like y'all know. And for our purposes, since it's an employee lounge downstairs, it's fine with us. Cool. Cause they also say no on this, and if you said yes, it would open up to different questions in the
Because
general
it's
board.
not open yet, it's like,
Yeah, but if you have a plan, because remember, like, if the community comes to us and they're like, yo, it smells like smoke coming from this place 24/7, what is going on there? We didn't think you were allowed to smoke there. And they come to us, or they go to the police, and the police goes to public safety committee. There's a place here, and then at least like we would have a heads up where we're like, yo, we talked about it, it's employees only, like, and that's what we know so far. If you have a complaint, 311. So like that's how we can kind of make sure that you have a public voice in championship of your company from these kinds of conversations here. So as far as I know, employees lounge is downstairs. There could or could not be smoking down there. I doubt it'll be a problem if it's only 2 people. So that's fine for now. Are you planning on host cannabis events at the premises? If so, please describe their nature. You're saying no, which would be like, no smoke offs and nothing like that, but education is fine. So like education, like outreach, I'm gonna put that here. No parties or consumption or consumer consumption, but open space for education purposes. Cause that's something also that Happy Monkey has, like they have that, that front spot, and that's completely fine, you can always open your doors to people. But open for educational purposes. Very good. And that's what you said in the beginning, so I feel fine writing this. Please describe the security measures, be sure to include the number of cameras and New York State registered security personnel at the establishment. 12 cameras, good, always have security. 1 registered security company you'd be working with, or is it a person?
right now we have like a few options, so we don't know.
Cool,
We're still going through the vendors right now.
That's
We're still
fine.
taking proposals.
I'm just gonna put that,
Different
still going through
vendors.
vendors, yep. One thing that comes up during this part, going through vendors. One thing that comes up for this part a lot, cause you have to have security, that's like an OCM thing.
Yes.
But one thing that comes up for this part that we like to ask community board is, are you working with security companies from the neighborhood? Because, if someone's coming in from Long Island or Westchester and they don't know the hood like that, there could end up being problems down the road with, the public safety committee, with the police or something like that. So we do like to advise, influence you to look at vendors that either come from our neighborhood or hire from our neighborhood. Because that way you can get ahead of a lot of issues when it comes to public safety. That conversation's come up, you can look at our historical catalog and see the 30-minute conversations we had on that with people. But we highly recommend that. So putting it on here. So yeah, still going through the vendors. We've been heard about possibly some, looking into vendors locally. How will you manage sidewalks, crowd control, and vehicular traffic? Security manage lines outside. God willing, you have lines. I would love that kind of foot traffic to your spot. God willing. The reason why we usually ask this question is you guys don't have a delivery license, correct?
Yeah.
You do have a delivery license. So the reason why we ask this question is where are you going to park your vehicles?
To park and walk.
You say that now, but if there's gonna be like mini bikes or electronic bikes parked outside your establishment, especially how big it is, like you get very crowded on the sidewalk.
It's a bus stop
They
as
have a
well.
few
It's bus stop as
bikes,
well?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have a few bike routes there, like all on
Right in
the.
front of the
Right,
bus
right.
stop.
Okay. This is gonna be something that, I'll bring up for us in future tense, where if there is an issue that the community comes to us with, let it be known, I've kind of warned you to think about that. Because Happy Monkey does do delivery now, but they didn't start doing delivery when they first got in. We had a delivery only service, but they haven't started business yet that we approved. And this was where we had that conversation for like 30 minutes, where it was like, what are you gonna, like, how are you gonna treat that, right? So you put here, security will manage lines outside, and I would say, and delivery parking. Can I put that here? So it'll be on your security person, be like, yo, can you park that like a little bit further down? There's a bus stop here, people can't walk by. It's kind of gonna be on them to do that, unless you trust the delivery service to self-regulate themselves to do that.
Yeah, they gotta regulate themselves.
That's gonna be a challenge you're gonna wanna get ahead of as soon as possible, because, tough sidewalk,
It's tough there to park. You can't. You're not gonna
wheelchairs,
take it.
strollers, that kind of stuff. You don't need to have a solution for this now. I'm just saying that is gonna be one of the things you have to keep in mind, because that's like one of the number one complaints we get from neighbors of marijuana dispensaries is, I got mad bikes on the street, or like mad cars at double parking outside, and this is a bus zone, so like you gotta be real careful. Because then we have, we have our transportation committee, and that might come up there, so it's like, this is gonna be something you have to pay very much attention to. So I'm gonna put board, rows, the committee, rows, future potential issues with delivery parking space. However, solutions were discussed. And can I say, like, we feel comfortable that they take this to heart about what will need to be expected when it comes to delivery vehicles on a sidewalk in a bus location. Do you guys feel like, I trust you guys are gonna be looking out for that. Yeah, I'm writing it on their application right now, because the way that it was answered and we brought it up, like, I just wanna make sure that we are so heard on this one, because this is a major issue a lot with neighbors and stuff. I think we're-
cars or like
Across the street's a parking lot also, they have multiple parking lots around the area, which,
is it like cars, like actual vehicles, or like the bikes?
No, we're gonna have like one car,
Over.
two bikes.
When you say across the street's a parking lot,
so as soon as you make a left right there next to Inwood, there's a parking there.
oh yeah, I mean, that's like for drive-up traffic and stuff, and yeah, on that side, yeah, I know that parking lot, okay. Yeah, so like drive-up traffic and stuff, but like in and out delivery though, I think we're heard, I don't need to belabor this, so I'm gonna put, yeah,
If you wish to note it down,
and that's what I'm doing,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it's good.
Yeah, I'm noting
I
it
mean,
down,
so it's clear that, we adverted our minds. to this.
exactly. So not only will it be in the minutes that we had a spirited discussion on this part, but
Right.
also I'm putting it on their application so that when the board gets their application, they know when they read this.
Right,
we had
that
discussion.
was discussed, right.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna say, however, solutions were discussed and the task force feels comfortable. Comfortable with the seriousness they've comprehended. Seriousness the entity has comprehended.
Do we have a hard copy of the application anywhere?
Right here, my man.
Oh, please.
That I'm writing on. Oh, you need a copy of it.
Yeah, do we have?
Noemi can probably make those for you if
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
still
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. That'd be nice if she can.
Hey Noemi, or you know what? I can, if you want, I can make you a photocopy of this, unless you wanted one right now to follow along.
Naomi, could you make us a hard copy of the application?
Just another one? Do you have another one? Oh, you about to get out of here?
No,
Okay.
but that, I will have to make a copy of it because I will not prepare that.
Word. Can I make you a photocopy of this? But if you wanna follow, if you wanna,
I can copy it real quick.
Yeah, please.
yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Let me just look at the next, oh yeah, cause we're almost
It's only one
done.
page, let it finish.
Yeah, it's only, we're actually almost done. Can you give me like 30 seconds and I'll be able to,
Oh, maybe
yeah, we're almost done with the application. Here, why don't you just do it now? Why don't you just do it
Yeah,
now?
do it.
Will the
real
business
quick.
conduct delivery? You
What a
already said
big-
yes, by signature. Alright, here you go. Look, I mean, honestly, the last question anyway was, will the business conduct delivery? And we've already talked about that, they said yes. Which is great, you know, having another delivery service in the neighborhood is gonna be awesome. So, that was our application. The biggest things that I've taken away from your application, and you came in a little bit late, but
Yeah,
I'll tell you,
I know.
but you'll see the copy of this.
Please, yeah.
The biggest thing I take away from the application is you're community oriented, the way that you answer a lot of the questions, especially like the aesthetic question about you're going to create something modern for the neighborhood. Love your perspective on that, because you're not some company trying to come in and do it on your terms. That's really good. You came out early on the application saying that you would open your doors for educational purposes, and that's what we're always looking forward to as a committee. And then also like from like a jobs perspective, like you're looking to source people from the hood, and that can include like the Bronx, like the Bronx is kind of like lower Bronx, like kind of Washington Heights, right? Don't tell the people in the Bronx that, but like, and I love that, and like you've already kind of gotten in front of a lot of the questions. You would be surprised about how many businesses we've seen come in and talking to some like midtown security firm, come in and are like, oh, we're gonna get only the best applicants. It's like, well, can you give us like some peace of mind that you're gonna get the best applicants from our neighborhood first? And they don't even wanna do that.
Yes.
But y'all, from the way that you wrote the first two questions from this conversation that we had before you got here a little bit, that we had early on, I've sensed that from you. Like you're not coming in this neighborhood to take our resources in terms of money, you're looking to build it.
Yes.
And so that is like my overall takeaway from your application. The location's great for that. Oh yeah, you got that one. Which one's the original? This one? This is the original. Sweet. Location's good. We already have the lease. They've already posted. They have pictures of it in the office.
Okay.
Good to go there. So does the committee have any questions?
Like, who is going to be the plant man? of this
Chris.
operation? You?
He's the one with the C card.
Okay, and you, what would your role be?
Well, I'm just supporting right now.
He's from like the neighborhood, he lives in the neighborhood, he's gonna be an employee.
Cool.
From the neighborhood.
Do you live in the neighborhood?
I live in the Bronx.
I live in the neighborhood.
Okay.
Where you live at?
I'm in Dykeman.
Oh, word.
Yes,
All right.
Broadway,
It
right
went
on
through and
Broadway.
through. All right.
Yes, yes.
Let's
So,
go.
yeah, and I'm also Dominican, so
All right.
we're trying to make sure that the community is also being represented, just not in the community, but also in the cannabis industry.
Wonderful.
Okay.
This is great. Questions?
No additional questions from you.
Yeah,
Questions?
I mean, here, I'm done with that.
Cool. Well, since we have quorum, you signed in, right,
I
Carl?
did.
We can vote. All right. All those.
Sorry,
Yeah.
what's the timeline for them to hit the road?
Great question. When do you guys see yourself able to do business in this December? Actually, I'm gonna put that on
Yeah,
here.
please. December timeline.
Begin business in December. 25. All right. Any other questions?
No, I'm done.
All right.
Fine.
So since we have quorum, we can vote. Vote yay, nay. All in favor of approving approving happiness?
I'll go with you, Nobles, how do you vote?
I vote yay.
Jamir's not here, I vote yes.
Okay.
Approval, Jonathan is not here, Lizette is not here, Carl, how do you vote?
I vote yeah.
All
So
right.
that's 3 yeses out of the 3.
Yep,
participants.
and yep, 3 yeses, and then the rest are not present. So congratulations. That is your cannabis review. I'm telling you guys, it does not go this easily usually.
Pleasure.
So like, I'm really happy with that. So the next step here is we're gonna give this to the office, say you've been approved by the task force. This application, the entire application you guys have sent through. Oh, here's the picture right here. My people. My people.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful. Very good. The full application is gonna go to the general board meeting. The general board will then, many folks on the general board from different committees will look at your application, and then there will be a chance not only for you to speak for just a couple minutes during the public session. Like, hey, we're here on behalf of Happiness Dispensary. Our business is coming up in front of the general board today. We are very community oriented. We want to make this a place for cannabis education as well. We have been approved by the committee, and we hope to have your support. And then you would have questions maybe from the general board meeting. Then what happens is that this, like, note to self, I need to make a resolution for you where as a chair, I make a resolution like, Happiness Dispensary has been reviewed by, I'm making the resolution as I speak, Carl and Hector. So if you have anything you want to add or need to add in this resolution, please let me know and I'll make sure it's in there specifically. But the resolution, yeah.
But what day?
For the general board meeting?
Yeah, like I know usually it's like you have to submit the resolution prior to that.
Right, well, that's before the executive committee meeting, and I think the calendar is over here. So the executive committee meeting this is October, good. The executive committee meeting is on Monday the 20th. Oh yeah, so actually let me start there. So basically the next step after this is I make a resolution which basically says, and I'm live making a resolution right now, this is what we used to do in Parks and Cultural Affairs because it's just not worth anyone's time to make it while we sit here. Unless there's like very sticky points, which I don't think there are. But basically what we do is I make a resolution that says the Cannabis Taskforce CB12 has reviewed the application for Happiness Dispensary opening up on 409 something Broadway. After reviewing the application, the task force feels good about this because yada yada yada, everything I just said before. And with that, may it be resolved that basically whereas it's a whole language thing to this, but basically may it be resolved that we approve of Happiness Dispensary opening up in CB12 district, right? Then that goes to the executive committee, which is going to be on October 20th, and that happens here at 6:30. And so if you want to be there for that too, you can be, which I would say so. It's probably a good idea. I mean, like, it's going to be 3 times you see us. Now, executive committee, general board meeting. Because those 3 times will probably be the only time you have to see us until like your license has come up for renewal, I think in like 3 years or whatever like that. So like 1 month of just being here every once in a while, and then after that you're good to go, man. So executive committee, I'll be there, and this is like during the executive committee, basically only committee members speak. Or this is executive committee is for chairs only. But people can join, public people can join, which I would say you should. Committee members can join, but really the executive board only speaks because it's about the community board executive, it's not general. And so I would speak there and be like, hey, we've had Happiness Dispensary come up, you all have copies of the resolution, I'm here to answer any of your questions, executive board. And then I might get peppered with some questions, I would answer basically on behalf of you from this conversation. Then the executive board would be like, okay, we approve this application going to the general meeting. And they would go to the general meeting. Then the general meeting is happening on
The last Tuesday.
public hearing. Yeah, so it's also, right. So the 28th, I'm gonna be virtual on that one because I have to go to Houston for work. But the 28th, right? And so during that general board meeting, basically the same deal, but now it's in front of the public where there's a time for public to speak. So let's say we had, a champion of yours, like you could come up and speak, you can come up and speak, and like, hey, we want to open this up here, or someone that you guys aren't even affiliated with could come up and speak, like, I'm really excited, I saw the sign on their storefront, I'm really excited for this dispensary to come in because I don't want to walk 10 blocks to Happy Monkey, whatever. And then also there might be an opportunity where people that don't want your business to come in can have the opportunity to speak because you posted it, hey, we saw this coming in, we don't want a marijuana dispensary in our neighborhood. Now, that's not going to really change anything in terms of where you are right now, like your application's already going to the executive committee. What that would be doing if someone were to come up, or if someone's a champion of yours, but no matter what, that's the time to kind of lobby in front of the public that you can, like, you want to open this up and it's good for the neighborhood, right?
And also, historically, most of the applicants who come to our committee have also been there publicly to speak and say like at least 2 or 3 minutes worth of words, so addressing the overall board.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice if you can show up.
Right, because I mean, the board seeing that you're there willing to field any questions as owners is going to be important for the board, even if naysayers get up to speak against it, to have a vote of confidence in you to approve your application. So then basically what happens after that point, the public speaking point, I would get up, or I'll be on Zoom this time around, and I will say, because before resolutions, in general board meeting, we have many resolutions where it's like liquor resolutions where this establishment wants to bring liquor in instead of beer and wine, or this is a new establishment that wants beer, wine, and liquor licenses. And like, so, or, this street naming wants to happen, or, we want to sign a resolution that sends it to the Department of Transportation that we need a bus stop here. This is where those things happen. And it does, like, not every committee has a resolution out of committee, so usually it's between like 3 or 5 committees that have a resolution. This time around, we will have one. And so what happens during that time is I would get up or be on Zoom and be like, hey, the resolution in front of the board from the Cannabis Taskforce is for Happiness Dispensary. You can review, our minutes to see what the conversation looked like. But personally, as a chair, and I speak on behalf of our committee because we talked about this, we feel very good about this company coming into our neighborhood. So I'm here to field any questions from public or the board, and this is going to be me as a chair, that you have for this applicant. And a lot of times there are questions. I will answer those. We answer it, then we close, the question and answer period, and then we go to vote, and that's 50 people voting on it. And the general board is like, it says like, Hector Bonilla, how do you vote for this liquor license? How do you vote for this land use? How do you vote for Happiness Cannabis Dispensary? Yay or nay? And some people might be like, yes to all, like everything's a yes. Some people might be like, no to this, yes to this, abstain from this, right? And then at the end, votes are counted, and then if you guys get the majority of votes, there's nothing else the community board you really need to do. By that point, you're approved by the community board. OCM gets to know through the Manhattan Borough President's office, hey, have they passed, the community board? Okay, the community wants them. OCM's got no problem there. Again, as I said, like, even if we didn't vote you in, you could still open up your dispensary. But when OCM takes a look and they'd be like, well, why didn't the community board approve this? Then they would like call my chair, the chair of the board, and be like, why wasn't this approved? So that's how that kind of works. So yeah, that's the next step for your application. But congratulations, you got to the first step. All right? Very good. Congratulations. I'm so happy to get more possibilities in this neighborhood for marijuana. Very good. So I'm moving the agenda along. That was part C. Now we're in the open discussion forum, new business. Donna. So Donna, do you know the Green Tree Cafe up on Haven Street, Haven Ave?
The Treehouse Cafe on Hinge.
Treehouse Cafe. Sorry.
Yeah,
You know it?
Yeah, no, not very well, but very good.
Cool. Carl's also been on this committee task force. This is your second season, basically. Sweet. So Donna is one of the principals there. If not the owner, can I say the owner, founder?
Yes, I am the owner of, okay. So I am now the sole owner of what used to be formerly known as Treehouse Cafe, which is now the House of Collectives, located on 2 Henshaw Street, between Riverside Drive and Dykeman.
Right. I walked by there the other day when I was going near the Hudson.
Yeah.
So to tell us what you want to know, what's your issue? Anything.
So I don't necessarily have an issue. I've been in the community since September 17, 2022. Unfortunately, I was in a partnership that didn't really allow for me to be able to step in a community the way that I would love to step in a community. And since I have become sole owner of, which is now called the House of Collectives, which is a cannabis-friendly event space, creative hub, educational hub.
Big fan.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
I'm a big fan.
I'm also, a graduate from the Kingsborough College and City Tech cannabis culinary program.
Wow.
So what we're doing there is really generally creating a hub for our new cannabis entrepreneurs and people to be able to come in and have spaces to be able to do activations, to be able to hold informational events, to be able to, do things that are cannabis friendly. I think that the neighborhood is really lacking, especially as far as diversity as well, because I am one of the only Black owned establishments in Inwood itself. So just preserving who I am and introducing myself as who I am, as Donna, as the owner, as the House of Collectives. I would love to have the opportunity to have CB12 and I talk about how we can make the House of Collectives, I'm sorry, excuse my doorbell.
That's okay.
How we can make the House of Collectives a community hub and a center to educate and help break the stigma in Inwood.
Yeah. Do you know Annette Fernandez?
I do know Annette Fernandez.
That's my girl. You want to talk about education? She's on the front line, and we actually did something with her earlier last year at Boricua College about marijuana education. I was
Yeah, I know Annette, I know Jamira,
good.
I was in the legacy field and during the pop. I started my business, Puff Puff Pastries, which I actually am in a December queue. I've been in the December queue for a while now. But I met all those people
Good.
through the legacy era. Um,
Good.
so now again, as I'm branching off and I'm able to do this by myself, I
Yep.
know that I'm going to need a lot more community support behind me, being that, yes, I have been here for the past 8 years, but we also had a pandemic as well. And then coming out of that, focusing on my business for the past 3 years. The first year, I had to learn and teach myself everything. The second year, my mother died, and now I'm in my third year of business. And I would really love the community's help to be able to, again, make this a positive, it's always been a positive space, but to make this even more a positive space and influence in the neighborhood.
That's wonderful. Let me ask you, what does that look like to you for CB12 to, yeah, to help out?
Yeah, so what that looks like for me is having application forums, having panels, having real live discussions. Right now, we currently have a couple of groups that we throw right now. Like we have a mom and cannabis group that allows for moms that participate in cannabis to have a safe space to come and, you know, interact and engage with one another and talk about real life stuff. We also have a Puff and Plan a Revolution, which is a radicals movement on every first Monday, where we have groups of people from the neighborhood come in and talk about the things that are going on in politics and, you know, our dislikes, friendly debates and things like that. I also have a culinary residency program, again, for these entrepreneurs that do not have the money to afford a storefront. I'm opening my doors to allow them to place their things on my shelves, you know, so that way we can try to combat some of that too. You know, it's a lot of applicants. There are a lot of applicants from micro business to card holders to retail licensees that are going to be accepted. But the problem that's going to come at hand is that there are going to be no real estate left for them. There's not going to be any rent for them to be able to afford to be able to put these things in motion. We've been waiting for the past 3 years now on the licensing, and I'm still in December's queue, you know. So once they start approving these things for November and these people start getting these licenses, where are they going to go?
Yeah, and it's not necessarily the supply is small. I think it's that the minds are small that control the supply. Do I?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Not
So
thinking of the bigger picture, you know.
yeah. So I mean, like one of the things we talk about education a lot on this task force. Actually, that was last year. That was last year's goal is to become more seen as a task force in educational areas. This year, we kind of carried that on from our first board meeting, committee meeting, where we want to continue, you know, to find opportunities to educate. What you're talking about here is kind of like a two-pronged education system. One is for, you know, understanding the tools as a business owner you have, or future business owner you have in front of you to do, which that's like an easy one because everyone wants to be in the marijuana business right now. And, you know, we could certainly, you know, provide people to answer questions, you know, at the Treehouse Cafe, in their official capacity. Sorry, what?
The House of Collectives.
The House of Collective, right? Because when I walked by you this week, I was like, "That's a different name. I hope everything's okay."
Yeah,
But
yeah.
The House of Collective, right? I have to get used to that. But yes, like that's the easy one. Like another one could be, let's throw like a landlord's forum, right? Where it's like, you know, if this is a pressing issue for you, let's just call a spade and provide that opportunity. Now, one thing we could do from a community board support perspective, is do some type of a joint forum, and this takes a while to create, but we could do a joint forum with our housing, our housing committee?
Okay.
Housing? Is like, right? Because our housing committee, like maybe we do a joint forum with like housing and land use.
Because I will say, because where my establishment is similar to the Happiness Dispensary. You know, I don't have anyone above me, but I am also attached to a residential building.
Yep.
But again, with that, you know, standalone structure and, you know, with the on-site consumption and things like that, because again, I am coming from a different space because of the last partnership where I'm trying to do everything with my community the right way, especially with the mental physical space that I'm in now,
Yep.
where I'm going for my, for my letter grade for us to be a cafe during the day, so that way we could serve our food and all of that stuff. So I'm waiting for my
Good.
final inspection. But as far as cannabis is concerned, we are cannabis culture, but I really want for people to understand, yes, I am a cannabis baker and I'm a cannabis chef, but what I am trying to provide here is a place that forms community
Yeah.
around cannabis culture. I'm not here to sell weed. I'm not here to do any of those things. What I am is trying to be a hub for those individuals that want to come in for more information, that may need a place to work from during the day, and I just want to come in and get a good cup of coffee.
Yeah, I mean, like, so a couple things. CB12 can certainly provide, thought leadership when you have those kinds of stage opportunities. If you have people come by and you have like a forum on how do you start, getting your card, all that. However, I would say that what I think you're kind of talking about is a little bit, I guess, smaller in scale from an issue that we would as community board take on from a larger scale. So the things you're talking about for you are a symptom of a larger issue in our neighborhood.
Absolutely.
And so, like, for us to be most effective in that, we would need to scale it up to that conversation to cure the symptom. What does that look like? It looks like a forum that, cannabis would lead, or Cannabis Taskforce would lead, with health and human services and housing and services, right? Housing
and health, I think, as well. I think that
Right.
they
Housing
go
and human
hand.
services.
Right.
It would be housing and human services and land use. Because the conversation we would tackle in that forum is like we would bring, someone either from the administration or, from like a Housing and Human Services Department of New York to come speak on that panel about, why we're having trouble finding landlords that want to provide space for cannabis dispensaries. They would come, the landlords would come because they're coming and they want to hear from them. And then from our perspective, we would bring someone from OCM to have that conversation that has a very top-down view of what it looks like in other neighborhoods that might have gotten it right. Have a conversation between those two people in front of the audience you want to have it with, because we can always help, tactical, hey, we're doing this educational series, but we're also here mostly, to be quite honest, to tackle the systemic issues in our community.
Absolutely.
And so both of those things we can do, it's just where do we put our time as volunteers from a bandwidth perspective. My personal opinion, this is for the committee to discuss if we want, like, we usually focus on the big shit, like making those forums, having the conversation to change the most amount of minds as possible. But we do show up to the smaller tactical things with like a table. And so it's like, as you think about how you're reinventing the collective, right? Think about those two areas that we do go into and how you'd want us to show up.
Okay.
Because then it would be a little bit more actionable on our part to do it correctly with you. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. And like I said, I just wanted to come on today to formally just kind of introduce myself, because I'm stepping back into my, back into my light. And, this is the first step for me, is getting involved with my community, because although I like to call myself a New York expat, even though I'm a New York expat, this is very much so my community, and I feel like I've built something amazing. And I think that it could be very beneficial to everybody. The community, CB12, myself, and I think that could be a growing thing. And I want to grow with CB12 and the Cannabis Task Force as the stigma is starting to be released, and as the OCM and the government decides what they want to do. I would love to be a part of the conversation.
New beginnings.
Yes,
Fantastic.
absolutely.
Can you give us your address one more time?
Yeah, so it's 2 Henshaw Street.
Do you know where that is? So like, yeah, because you're on 160 something, 145.
457.
You're on 157. That used to be my old area in the Audubon district, right? So this spot is. Do you know where the old La Marina used to be? It's called the Hudson now. Or do you know? Yeah. Do you know Payson?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
It's on the same block as the Manhattan Mini Storage.
yeah, the Manhattan Mini Storage up there, like right on Dyke.
Yeah.
Yep. Cool. So you heard Understood. Congratulations on new
Thank you.
beginnings for sure.
Thank
We're
you so
certainly
much.
here to support. We might be slow sometimes because we're volunteers, but we're always here when we got your back.
No, I appreciate it. Again, I just wanted, because I do remember you
Yeah.
coming in when we first opened the year before, that first year or maybe into the second year. But again, I had just lost my mother, so I really wasn't in that space to be able to engage the way that I wanted to engage. But I am here, and I'm here for this community. And with as much cannabis knowledge as I do have, I'm looking forward to expanding my knowledge and being able to work with you guys as well.
So I'm learning Spanish, and so I would say,
Yeah, un poquito de
nosotros-
español. Mi cambiante es mucha.
is it nosotros? Is it we're here now. Nosotros aquí ahora. We're here now.
Yes.
Out of dark.
Sorry.
Out of dark. Right,
Estamos. Nosotros estamos aquí ahora.
Nosotros
Estamos
we
aquí.
are. Nosotros estamos aquí ahora. Gracias.
Donna, we just want to say our condolences to your mother.
Thank you.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And yes, I've actually been in your store and I love it.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's been some time, and it's been a lot of changes and things that I had to go through in order to be where I am today. But the one thing that I always lead with in my mission with my establishment, whether it have been Treehouse Cafe or whether it be the House of Collectives, is that I'm moving on community, because that's how I got here. I got here on the backs of community. So I only want to see the community grow and prosper.
What's your contact info in terms of like, what's your email address?
My email address is chefdonna@thehouseofcollectives.com.
I love that.
It's
Chef
THEHAUS. HAUS.
Wait, one more time. What was
Say
that?
that again.
The House of Collectives is THEHAUS.
Oh, nice.
.com, and that we also have a website there too. We have event space rental. I'm trying to get the ghost kitchen rental too for micro business that's going to be coming in looking for places to be able to do production for their edibles to be able to sell. So I'm trying to I'm building an umbrella, especially for cannabis entrepreneurs, because when I started Puff Puff Pastries, I started that by myself. I taught myself everything, and I just want to give that same platform that I had to those same people coming up.
And Sean Street.
Wonderful. Well, look, I mean, we hope to definitely see you at other task force meetings, because we do have an awesome rotating group of characters that come through, and I'm sure we'll land an event or something that we can support you on for sure. And yeah, but Yanis, am I pronouncing your name correctly?
Jananese.
Jananese.
Yes.
Jananese. Well, what brings you to our board? Oh, sorry. My bad. Yes, that's right. You said that in the beginning. My mind's working. Definitely the boss. Very good. Well, look, folks, we've gone through our agenda. It's 7:28.
Yeah.
Is there any last minute of the board of the people we need to discuss?
No, not at this time.
Then I would say, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion. You second the motion.
Awesome. So Carl
Thank you, guys.
made the motion. Thank you. Carl motion.
Hector support.
Hector support.
That's it.
Hector's support. And we are adjourned at 7:29 p.m. Awesome. Thank you, gentlemen.
Do you have a business
Nah,
card?
man, we volunteer.
Oh, okay.
I got a real job, but
Well, you can take the
Very
part
good.
of the
yeah, but you can always get in touch with us in the office.
Yes. Do you have a number? Or
Yeah, I'll give you my email.
Okay, so
Noble's like my first name, Nobles.
NOB
Yep, at like Barnes and Noble with an S. So like Nobles 1983
1983
at gmail.com.
at gmail.com.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, and everything.
Yeah, man. Like when I made that, I was like, because now that I'm 42, I'm like, what the man? What are you
What
doing?
is Donna's email? Donna?
It was Chef Donna,
Yep, chefdonna@thehouseofcollectives.com.
and that's THEHAUS, like German house.
At
HAUS
the House Collective.
collective.com. Awesome. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to end this stream. You can always watch it on YouTube if you want to go back. But thank you so much for joining.